So on my Instagram page, I asked you guys if you wanted me to make a video, and if I did, what kind of video you would want me to make. So a couple of you said you wanted me to do a video on what my favorite go-to camera is. Now I have two cameras that I really enjoy, but I'll talk about the 35mm one today, and maybe another time talk about what point and shoot, like instant camera that I love. So the camera I'm going to talk about today is the Canon AE-1. I'm going to bring it up to you right there. Yep. Ooh. Yeah, so the Canon AE-1 is pretty close to my heart because this was actually my grandfather's camera. Initially, when I was looking for a Canon AE-1, I knew that I wanted this model, so I was looking all over eBay for one and online, on Amazon, and I had a bid placed on one with, I think, 4 lenses, and my grandpa called me and said, hey, the camera I used to take pictures of you with when you were a kid is actually Canon AE-1 and I'm willing to part with it. So I stopped bidding and thankfully my bid didn't go through, so I didn't end up with 2 Canon AE-1s, so that's good. Not that I would mind having more than one, it's a great camera, but I don't necessarily need 2. So I went to my grandpa's and I picked it up, and honestly it's in better condition than the one I was looking at on eBay. It's a lot cleaner. My grandpa took really good care of this camera, and he gave me 3 lenses with this and a flash attachment that I haven't used yet because I don't have batteries that large. This does take a battery, but the battery is one of those tiny kind of disc batteries, so it lasts a long time. So I probably won't have to change the battery on this for a few years. What I love about this camera, other than it just being close to my heart, because it's taken a lot of family photos, especially when I was young, but it's just so easy and beginner friendly to use. I took maybe a weekend to learn this camera, and ever since that I have been refining my skills just every week using this camera. And the film, I can still get it developed. I go to Walgreens, which I know some of you have yelled at me to just develop it myself, but I don't have the time or the space or the resources, so I pay to have my film developed for me, and most of the time it works out great. Sometimes I get some wacky results back, but mostly my results have been pretty good. So one thing I like about this camera is so easy to take the lens off. I just turn this ring so that the red dots line up and it comes right off, and it's easy to put back on. Yep, just slide it in, and once again turn the ring and it stays on very well. This is a sturdy camera. There's no like well, okay, there might be some plastic, but this is a mostly metal camera, and so it's heavy, it's sturdy, it's bulletproof. Now don't drop it, but you know, it's a great sturdy camera. I love it to death. I love the controls that I have with it, that I can focus on what I want to focus on. One of my biggest pet peeves with my digital camera, which I have it right here actually, which y'all are gonna laugh at me, you know, this Coolpix Nikon camera, this really old camera, it's that I didn't have any control on what I could focus on or just anything. I had no control over this camera, and it was all auto, and it drove me insane. Still drives me insane. I haven't used this camera in over a year. It's wild. I love this camera, guys. I would rather do film with a camera that I have more control over than digital on a camera that I feel I have no control of. So this is partly why I went to film, because I love the manual modes. One day I will invest in a digital again, but that day is not today nor tomorrow, or maybe until next year. So still gonna be dealing with film photography. The film that I use for the most part is the Kodak Ultramax 400, which is actually right here. I keep them on my desk so that they're just readily available. I personally like this film. It's super easy for me to get. I can get it from the grocery store or online, but you know, typically I get it from the store. I just dropped that. So, but some film I get to play with now I'm really excited for is the Portra 400. So in the coming months you might see some Portra 400 on my feed on Instagram. So yeah, I'm really excited. I hope you enjoyed this video and hope you enjoy film photography or photography in general. Photography has been in my life for probably about 8 years now. I've really enjoyed this journey, especially in the last year with getting into film. I have other cameras that I'm going to be playing with in the next year because my grandparents from other sides of my family have been telling me about all these cameras that they have that they don't use. So I've been getting a lot of cameras passed down to me, and it's nice to have this family history being passed down. So I'm hoping that in the next year I will get to play around with those. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more videos, comment below some ideas, or if you just want to see more of my photos that I've taken with mostly this camera, you can check out my, my Instagram, which is annabelle.film. I post right now a lot of my photos of the trip that I took this summer with my family, but for the most part it's of the Pacific Northwest because that's where I live. So yeah, hit the like button down below, subscribe if you want. I don't post here very often, but I hope that in the next year I can post more about some cameras. Alright, thanks, bye!